Well, look at this. We're recording. Cool. Okay. So you see, I'm very excited. I've got this Canon camera. See this? A Canon camera. It's, I believe it's the 4, because it does have this little thing over here. It has been called one of the most important Canon cameras, I think the 2 most important Canon cameras. This piece just came off, but it's an old camera. It's got this little hot shoe, which was a new innovation, I think came about with the 4. It's a rangefinder camera. And let me just put this back together because it is falling apart. It's a little old. I think it's from 1951 or 51 to 53. And from what I gather, it's an antique. I mean, 53, it's like 60 years old. It's an old camera. It's been in my family's possession since the 60s. Yeah, my father used this, and I used it. I took some very interesting photos of a demonstration at my college during my college years in late 60s, early 70s. Hanoi Jane Fonda was there, and I took some very interesting pictures of Jane Fonda with this camera. It works. It worked when I used it. I can't attest to it working now. I have not loaded it up. It's been sitting in my possession forever. I've been in this current location for over 30 years, and it's been in my home for over 30 years. And it has a little bit of, corrosion on the top around here. You could see it. I mean, I think it's coming in the pictures. It's not in pristine shape. It probably can be. Refurbished. I'm not a refurbisher. So I did, when I got it, because my father got newer cameras, better cameras later on. I think he got a Nikon or a Pentax or something. But anyway, I inherited this before he died. I mean, I used it, and he had I think he got an SLR. This is a rangefinder camera. It's a copy of a Leica. A Leica. And I think it was even rated better than a Leica because it had some things on it that a Leica didn't have, which made this even better. And like I said, some camera historians have called this a very important camera that established Canon as a major force in the photography industry. So I did buy this, I do recall, I think, buying this Tiffin adapter on the front, which acted as a lens cap, because it didn't have a lens cap when I got it. So I bought the little ring, and I think I got it from Spiritone, which was in Flushing, Queens. I lived in Queens, and not too far from Flushing, and it was an easy trip to take a bus down to Flushing when I was a kid, and that was a favorite place for me to hang out. I wasn't really a big photography buff, but I did get into it for a little while. Anyway, this camera, I believe it has all the shutter speeds that it should have. So if I advance the thing, this this film thing, and I put it on 1000, because when you advance it, that's when you have to lift this thing up, this thing, you got to lift it up and place it on there's a little mark over here. Yeah, there's a little mark on the hot shoe. There's a little arrow right over here, and you have to line this up with that arrow. And when I put it on 1000, let's see. Yep, now it's on 1000, and I press this. Maybe you can hear it. It's a pretty fast speed, right? Okay. Now I go forward again to the next one, and I put it on 500, which is the next one down. And listen. I can't tell if it's a little slower or not, but it should be a little slower. So I advance it again, and I move it to 200, which is the next down, and yep, well, does it again. I can't really tell whether it's really accurate or not. And here's 100. Now that sounds a lot slower. In fact, the 200 did sound slower. Then it goes to 40. Whoop, no, this is wrong. I got to advance it and then go to, 60. 60. Yeah, that's definitely slower. And then it goes to 40. Now, I'm assuming that they're all accurate because they are changing. So, and then you can put it on 25.1, which I think when you press it down, it just opens it and keeps it open. But, oh no, it times it. And then I can go to, well, I think when it goes to 25.1, see, I have it over here. There's another little number, and it's at T. Well, no, it's at 1. So I think 25.1, that's 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. Now, if I go to T, I think when I have it 25-1 and I put it on T, I think it's just, I can hold it as long as I want. So I press down. And the second part, it stays open this whole time. And you really should have this on a tripod, of course, if you do this. Because if you start shaking it with this thing open, you're going to make a mishmash. And then I let go. Nothing. Well, that didn't work the way I thought it would. I might have gotten that incorrect. Let's try that again one more time. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, then you move it to 1. Oh, it probably doesn't work. It probably does not work on T. Once it goes to T, I don't think anything happens. I think it stays open until you move. It stays open until you move this little thing here to the 1. Let's try that again. Now I go to T. It's 25-1, and I have it on T. And I press the button. Nothing happens until I move this little button 1 space over to the 1. There it goes. So you can have it go for an indefinite amount of time. You can leave that the shutter open, and then when you do that, it closes it. But anyway, then we have a 2, which I think is a 2 second. Yeah, it's a little bit longer. Then we have a 4, which I guess is a 4 second. Yeah. And then we have a 8, which should be 8 seconds. No, not 8 seconds. It sounded faster. Maybe it's 1/8. And then we have an X. Let's see what X does. Yeah, I don't know what X does. Then we have 25, which is, who knows? Well, anyway, that's how you control the 25-1. And it appears that the speeds are changing. So accuracy, who knows? But it definitely is changing the speed when you use these little things. Now, another thing we have is the rangefinder. Oh, it's a rangefinder. So, there we go, I think. There's 3 different settings for the rangefinder. There's an F, there's a 1x, and there's a 1.5x. So you get different views through the rangefinder. Oh yeah, that's X. Yeah. So you can look through the rangefinder. See, it's hard to see with the lights in my. Yeah, you can look through the rangefinder, And it brings the subject closer. And what's cool about that is you can bring it as close, really close to you, and then you can adjust the focus when it's close, and then you could move it back to the full, the regular, the way the picture would be taken. This doesn't change how close the image is to you on the film, but it just brings it closer to you so you can see things better. But it no matter what the rangefinder will say, the camera will take the image that it sees, through the lens. This is not a SLR camera, so you're not seeing exactly what you're getting on film. That's the pluses and the minuses, the pros and cons of a rangefinder. So when I take off this little lens cap, I can see that it's a Canon Camera Company, Japan, number 12076 lens. Serenar, that's I think the name brand for the Canon lenses. And it's a f2.8, 35, it's a wide angle 35 millimeter lens. It's not a 50 or 55 millimeter. It's not a standard lens. So it's a wide angle 35 millimeter lens, which is pretty damn cool as far as I could tell. I mean, I like 35. I mean, it gets more in. It's really good for portraits. And the f-stops are 2.8, 4, 5.6, 8, 11, 16, 22. And then it has a foot range over here, which you can change. Okay. And we can take off this lens. It screws on and off, just like a Leica, I'm told. And here we go. It's the lens. So let's do that again. So I bring this up here, and let's see what I do here. I could put this on B. Let's go to 1000. See if you can see this. Nope, I couldn't see it, so I doubted you could. And let's go again to 500. Nope. Let's go again to 200. And we go again to 100. And we go again to 60. And we go again to 40. And we go again to 25 to 1. And we go again to, what is B? Who knows? Anyway, this is the camera, and it's offered being offered for sale on eBay. The camera body, this is the leather, and I think it's real leather, even though it's falling apart. I don't have the top, just the bottom. And then we have the body, the lens and the body. And on the bottom here, you lift this up, turn this, and this thing comes out. Here, we have this plate that comes off the bottom. Got the bottom like this, and one more thing, you can you grab a hold of this, pop the spring pops out, and you just pull this out. And this is how you thread, the film into this little, here it is. There's a little thing there to grab the film, and then you put it back in here. Press it down, twist this around, press it down, twist it around. And you put this back in here, like so. There's a little button on there that this end piece fits into, like that. There's also a little, oh, where we go, there we go, that. And then there's this from that, okay? And we just get that in like that. Okay, and then we close it up. There we go. Close it up. Locked it in, and we're set. The body. The lens with the Tiffin lens cap, 35mm. They are for sale. I'll put the links in the description over here, so you can get this. I've seen this has not been refurbished at all. I did notice this currently as of last week. I saw this being offered for sale from Japan. Somebody in Japan had found one of these cameras. It didn't say. It did not say Japan on the top because, you know, it was an import. This is an import camera to the U.S. So it says Japan. So the one that I saw for sale is just the body, and it was over $1,000 was what he was offering it out for. It was, though, fully refurbished. Okay, if you fully refurbish this here camera, I'm not sure if it was the 4. I didn't know if it had this hot shoe, which is a very important addition. But over $1,000 for this camera. I was pretty surprised. However, it was fully functioning and refurbished. This has not been refurbished. I can't guarantee that it's fully functioning. It was the last time I used it. It probably is now. I do not claim that it is. That's something for you to find out on your own. I don't have the patience, and I'm not doing it. Okay, I'm not doing it. If I did do it, I would offer this for a lot more money than my starting bid. So anyway, hope you had fun, because I did.